This is Pilot Books, and this is
Summer Robinson,
who owns and runs Pilot Books.
So when you first walk in, you can see just about everything. This is the new table. Everything on there has been published this year. It's just kind of a mix of some fiction, some poetry, some nonfiction. Yeah. And then to the left is not only my sitting area, kind of messy, but also the poetry section. And like everything else down here, it's all by independent publishers and small presses. And back behind us, there's the other section, which includes some things that are between fiction and poetry and some truly nonfiction or essays or letters, or encyclopedias.
Can you point out something in particular that seems interesting?
Yeah. This is kind of a funny collection of letters from an imaginary senator. So I didn't think that it belonged in the fiction section. It's not much of a story, but it just kind of some ironic letters.
And where does that come from?
This is from Crossing Press out of New York. I think they're also a design house as well. They put out a couple things. It's by Jeremy Schmall.
Do you want to talk about your recommends?
Sure. On the whole wall that you see when you walk in, although it's not marked, and so I only tell people when they ask for a recommendation, it usually comes from this wall that not only looks good, but is functional too. So these are some of my favorite books and authors. Some very new stuff. Anything that I find that comes in that I really enjoy, I just go ahead and throw it up there.
Can you talk about a particular book?
Well, you are zooming in on The Log of the SS, the Mrs. Unguentine, by Stanley Crawford. And that's one that I read in the past couple of weeks and really enjoyed. It's kind of a, it talks about the relationship between this married couple that lives at sea, and some really funny things happen to them, and although nothing happens at all, and that's the complaint of the wife, because all they do is travel the oceans. But it's really humorous. It's published by Dalkey Archive, and yeah.
What do you think, upstairs?
Sure. And as you go upstairs, you pass through kind of my favorite section, which is really small right now, but it's all bilingual books, which are published, translations, but they're published in the original language on one side and then English on the other. And so hopefully that section will grow. It's kind of, you have to really seek it out, and even publishers that do translations don't always make them bilingual, but sometimes they do. And I think that that's the way it should be. And then down below is the chapbook section. And some of my chapbooks are actually at another location right now, but that I haven't mentioned to anybody yet. But also here on Capitol Hill. And otherwise, chapbooks. And to the left, on the wall, is this cool little area. It's for journals and periodicals and stuff. And it's getting full, so I had to set some things up on top. Yeah.
What about these books behind me?
The books behind, those specifically, those like stripy ones, are some French books. So I guess this isn't only the bilingual section, but the just foreign language section, which I also hope will be growing, but importing books is a slow process, because I don't want to order the wrong ones. Being real careful. So, yeah, these are from a publisher called Harpo out of Marseille in France, and this is like my favorite small press collection from France ever. It was just so well produced, and it's 15 previously unpublished pieces, really short. It's fiction, poetry, some theater, some randomness. It's really good. And then upstairs is like a reading room. The light's getting there. With some chairs, kind of hangout space, and also my lending library, which is gonna grow as well. Everything is gonna grow. And so it's a lot of used books. For now, they all come from my personal collection, and they're for people to borrow for a couple weeks if they want. Yeah, pretty informal. And actually I have plans to build a typewriter bar over there and have some bar stools and build out one of the shelves so it's a little bit sturdier and have like a few typewriters for people if they want to type some stuff. That was an idea that came out of a reading that happened yesterday. So you'll notice that Pilot Books has a lot of blue walls and beige carpeting, and there's this perfect blue and beige carpet tree moon thing that I found at this antique junk shop called the Anne Bonny, and I bought it months ago before I'd ever even seen this store. So that's how I knew that I should move in here with a bookstore. So I walked in and I saw blue walls and a beige carpet, and I had the perfect decor to go with it.